Okay, so I just wanted to do like a second video about my cockpit. There might be a few ideas that you enjoy. If you just come as close as you can, share it. So my torch, this is a mini CC, and somewhere on my website I have a torch review about the different torches and why I like this the most. But what is more interesting than the torch itself to me is this thing here. This is, I couldn't even like pick it up, it's so heavy. This is a sandbag. If you can you see here, Sherry? This is like the inside here. It's kind of like a canvas. Mm-hmm. And what I did is I put a Kevlar sleeve around it. And I had another one here. I'm going to show you this one. This is the second one. And I had just ordered a piece of fabric from Amazon that was like a, how do you say, like it was, I don't know what you call it. So it's a fabric that is heat resistant. And I use that, and I don't know, when you get close, Sherry, can you see that? Like if you put something on here, you have all these fibers. And these fibers don't burn, so if you pick something up with tweezers and you have a bunch of fibers in there, then that ends up in the bead. So this was not a good idea. But the idea of the sandbag here is really cool. It kind of holds the torch in place, because I don't have this attached to the table, but this is so heavy it doesn't matter. And then there are two things that I love about it. One is that I can hold my wrist or my arm wherever like this, so instead of having a creation station which is kind of in your way, in my opinion, you can really put your arms wherever you want and be in the perfect situation and be very stable. The other thing is, can you show this one here? When I have I have a hot plate here, and it's pretty full, as you can see. And so what I put on the hot plate, then pieces of dichroic, and I have like these morini here, and pieces of goldstone, that need to be encased, or little leaves, or fish, and stuff like that. And oftentimes when you want to get a piece of dichroic and put it on a bead, you can't really get, well, that was a bad example. You can't really pick it up because it's on a flat surface. So what I do is I take tungsten tweezers and grab them like this, and then I move them over here onto my sandbag, like that. Can you just go as close as you can? And then, because this is kind of squishy, I can go with the tungsten tweezers, I can go underneath the dichroic and pick it up. And then I can heat it and put it on the bead. So this is really cool. And the same with these little things here, like my pulled leaves or so. I move them from the hot plate, drop them here on my sandbag, and then go underneath with the tweezers, and then I can apply them. So this sandbag is really, really a great thing. And I tried to look it up, because I don't remember where I got it from. I think they were from boyfriend Gino, who worked for Boeing, and he kind of stole a few things now and then. And I think that's where the sandbag came from. Something else that I really, really like, and again I can't really tell you what it is this thing. Sherry, can you show this metal piece here? So I have one here and one over here, and these come from my handyman, the guy who built my ventilation system, and he takes apart washers and dryers. So this thing here is somewhere inside a washer and dryer, and if somebody knows what it is, that would be great. I really like these to put tweezers on, and my rod holder, because I have such a mess on the table that I just wouldn't find my tweezers if I didn't have this thing. So that is very, very important. The other thing, if you can you show a close-up of this? The closer you can get, the better. This is just a jar. I mean, it's glass, and it has a lid, and that's where I just put, you know, stuff that didn't work out, or stuff, you know, I clean up. And I love this. This for me is like almost a sculpture. So when this is full, I'm going to put the lid on it, put it somewhere as a sculpture. So this is a, for me, it's a really, really pretty item on my table. Speaking of items on my table, I have a few things for inspiration. Like, for example, this guy here. It's a, well, what is it? What do you call that, Sherry? One of those, yeah, well, you know what it is. You can see what it is. And I had this guy for about 8 years, and he has such a beautiful, angelic smile. And one of these days, I'm going to make a bead with that. And speaking of other things that I want to make, see, this here, this was my plywood box, and we screwed on a piece of sheet metal from Home Depot. And it's nice because it is, it's magnetic. So, and then I got these things here. I have a bunch. If anybody wants one, I have like 20 more. So they're plastic butterflies, and they have a little bit of a magnet there. So they hold certain things in place. And so what I do is I write notes if I have an idea. So cat and mouse, for example, is an idea for a bead set with a cat and a mouse on a cheese-shaped bead. So then I write these things down, and that way I don't forget. And the other thing that I wanted to show you, actually, this one here I can't take off. Can you get close enough to see? This is it's Polymer Clay, and I bought this on eBay from my favorite Polymer Clay person, Christy Friesen. And I bought that because I thought, you know, I can make a bead like that. You know, have the bamboo on the side, and oops, and it's falling apart here. And when I have an idea like that, what I usually do is I take the most difficult piece of it, and then I make a bead, just like a sample bead, to know what I'm doing. So here, this is my sample bead for the panda head. I haven't gotten any further than that, but that's kind of how I usually approach things. I take the most important or the most difficult part. Here, this is like this thing here. It says, oops, fish pattern beads. That's another idea. I don't know exactly what that means, but that's one of my ideas. And these are held in place by magnets that I made. So the top part is like a cabochon that you do with the, you know, with those cabochon mandrels that usually used for rings. And I just glue it on the magnet, and so they stick perfectly. I love those. Another thing that's, you know, I just love going through kitchen supply, not that I cook or so. Can you see this thing in the back here, Sherry, this thing? This is kind of, this was a thing, this was, I think, from IKEA. And see how tall these bottles are? So everything that is tall goes in those things. So for example, this rod here is it's one of those Ask clears. I don't know whether you remember those. They're the ones that are not. They're only compatible with itself. So I use those to pull marine needles. So, and this is something very important in my mess. It's like I have these little tapes in different colors. So I said, okay, the yellow one is the one that's not compatible, or I have these little dotted one. This means this is Reichenbach, and so I have about 4 or 5 different colors. Here's orange color. I don't know. I don't know what that means, but. So I can kind of distinguish my glass, and sometimes that's really important to have because you can get into trouble. Or like here, for example, they have these really, really super long, can you see those? The super long, intense black stringer. So it's kind of nice to have something that you put these really, really long things on. What else can we show here? This thing here. This is an iPad stand. Obviously, there's no iPad on it because Sherry is using that to film. But this is kind of nice because I oftentimes work from pictures. And so I have this kind of far enough away from the torch. Oh, gotta show you this one. This is absolutely stunning. I hardly ever use it because the mess on my table. But this is a really cool thing. You might enjoy that. So, what is it called? Griffin. This is called Griffin Glass Tools. And it's one of those things, kind of very, very beautifully made, actually. So, for example, if you wanted to, if you need 3 hands sometimes, you have to put something on another item. So that you can put this here, can you see? And they're ball bearings instead, so you can go back and forth like that, and you can go back and forth like that. And here, I don't know how high it goes, but you can also adjust the heights. So sometimes when I make, for example, make a stamen cane or so, and I need to move something like with tungsten tweezers, and so I don't have enough arms, so then I put it in there and work on my cane. So this is one of those things. This is absolutely beautiful, but I only use it maybe once every 2 months or so. I bought this at Pacific Art Glass, and I think it was about $80 or so, $88. So it's just a, if you like tools, if you like well-made tools, this is a tool to have, even if you never use it. Here is, speaking of favorite tools, this one here, this is how I light my torches. A solid metal lighter, kind of a jet lighter. And it's really nice because it's safe, you don't have to worry about this thing exploding. And then you can stand it up. And the best part of it, that was a gift from my friend Beverly Siebenheimer. And those things are nice to have because every time I use this lighter, I think of Bev. And it's just kind of one of those beautiful things when things on your table are related to people and to love and to generosity and whatever. So with an almost ready, if you can look at the left here. Last time I said like all these stringer here, they're kind of useless because I don't know what they are, which is still true. But this part here, this is actually in use, so it kind of encroaches. It goes further right and right and right, and it's kind of annoying sometimes because I have my mandarin that come into this. But I'm, as much as I'm an unorganized person, I'm very organized when it comes to these preparation things that I use. And this is very important because a lot of my beads have components, and so here are the components. What do you think, Sherry? Is there anything else to talk about? Oh, this thing here. So I am the Goodwill's best customer. Sometimes, for example, this lamp here, I have two. One of them, this one here has a stand on the left, and this one here has a clamp, and I think I bought both of them from Amazon, and I didn't have any place to clamp it to, so I found this thing with no idea what that is used for, but it's great because I also can put my, put some tools in there, and like some of these tools that I use a lot, like my large olive shaper, I can put it in there so I can take a little bit of the load off on my table. So that's it. Goodbye.